Hello again, everyone. Today I'm here with a new fountain pen. This is the TWSBI Diamond 580 Mini in rose gold and white. And this is a really cute, lovely pen. It is in the same collection, essentially, as the TWSBI Eco in rose gold and white. And then we also have the Smoke Gold Diamond 580 full size, Smoke Rose Gold, and this is essentially the little trio that they have for these color combos. Basically, from what I've heard, and part of the reason why these pens tend to be a little bit more expensive than your average TWSBIs is because it took them a really long time to figure out how to do this rose gold coating. Supposedly many years ago, I don't know how many, they tried rose gold on the finishing and it peeled off, and they, were trying to make sure that this next version ended up really super solid. I haven't had any issues with these two, and I've had them quite a while. I actually have two of these. One is just with a regular nib like this one, and then one I have a custom grind nib. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off camera here for the time being, but I probably will try and compare at least between these two, because these are both medium nibs, and the nib sizes are a little bit different between the two, but they should be about the same. But I just thought it might be interesting for you to see the contrast. So what I decided to fill this little rose gold mini with is this Diamine Fire Embers ink. I agonized over what color, because you really probably could put just about any color in here, and I decided to go for this kind of flashy ink. This came in the Inkvent calendar for 2019, and I believe pretty much all, if not all, of the ink colors that were part of that Inkvent calendar are not now available in individual larger size bottles, which would be much bigger than the bottles that were included in the Inkvent calendar. So let's go ahead and fill this baby up. So the design is pretty much the same as all other TWSBI Diamond Mini pens. So basically this pen is a mini version of the Diamond 580. It has the diamond cut, I guess it's essentially plastic, here on the body. And then it is just, a shorter version, and the cap posts onto the back with a twist, as opposed to the large size 580 not really posting. I have posted it before. You can technically post it, but it makes it very back heavy, and there is, I suppose, the danger of you accidentally turning this piston knob, which could potentially have you leak ink. So basically it was meant not to be posted. And I do like to post my pens, which is kind of why I like the 580 Mini. I was really happy when they released this rose gold variation for the Mini, because this is actually one of my favorite, if not the favorite, TWSBI sizes of mine. I'll show you a couple others that I have. This is the mint, and this is the gold. The gold I did not get when it first came out. I actually ended up buying that on a buy-sell trade group, and it has been out of stock for quite some time. The design is pretty much the same on all of these, but you will notice that this has a very plain nib, whereas this has a rose gold tinted nib. And I believe, no, this one's extra fine, so it's a smaller nib. The nib sizing on, well, pretty much any pen, I guess, can get a little weird, because sometimes, there's some variation in nib sizing. And this one, I believe, is a medium. So I could also test it against this other medium in the Diamond 580 Mini. And this one posts the same way. You just twist that on to the back, and then you have a pretty much full-size pen. This is great for pocket-sized traveler's notebooks. I really, really like this model. My only complaint, and this is something that continues with the new model, or the new color, is that this little washer here in the back, this little black washer, will come off If you try to put it into a pen loop or something like that, it will basically twist it up or twist it off. I am consistently having that issue. In fact, I have another one of these in just plain clear, and that one has lost its little washer, for probably for good. I don't know where it is, but it is kind of a little bit of an annoyance, and I'm kind of annoyed to see that they kept that. But this was not meant to be a redesign, so it's just meant to be a new color variation. And I think, like I said, pretty much everything else is the same. So whereas this special edition, which is the mint, I believe, has the color through here, through the piston, through this little part here, and then also up here, this has white on these two pieces and the cap, and then the little metal pieces inside are this rose gold color. And just when I was taking a look real quickly at the nibs, they seem to be, and this could be an optical illusion, they seem to be slightly different in size. But like I said, it could just be an optical illusion because of the shininess of the silver colored nib as opposed to the rose gold. As far as I know, these are supposed to be the same. I actually wonder, could you swap out the... Yeah, you could swap out the caps. I don't know why you really would want to, other than with this one, which is rose gold and white, because the others are all pretty much the same on the cap. They just have the same little red logo on the top, and then there's nothing really that distinguishes one special edition from another. So I'm going to go ahead and put those back on there. I'm going to put those off to the side. I'm going to put all of these TWSBIs off to the side, and then I'm going to fill this. And I have a page set aside in my Tomoe River notebook. It looks like I was trying to start with something TWSBI here, and I put the I in, and that was wrong, so I left this page blank. But now that I'm getting close to using up all this paper, I'm going to use every little bit of it. This is the old Tomoe River paper, which is fantastic. The new Tomoe River paper is a little different. I've talked about that before on the channel, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about the new paper. It's still, you know, head and shoulders above a lot of other papers, but as to whether I prefer the old or the new, I think I prefer the old. But okay, so I'm twisting the piston up so that this little piece is all the way up to the top, and then I'm going to dip it. I think that this lid, the opening on this, is big enough to get this nib in. If you had a rather large nib, I don't think you could fit it in there, but I think this will fit. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to screw up. Okay. I'm not going to do it multiple times because that seems like a pretty decent fill, actually. And so that I don't stain this white resin, I'm going to wipe this off immediately. It doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. It seems like it's coming right off. And I'll show you that here in a minute. I'm trying to be thorough in getting all of that off. And let me make sure I've gotten enough ink off the nib so that it won't leak. So I will go ahead and close this up for the time being so that I can close up my little bottle of fire embers. Put that off to the side. It actually looks quite nice in there, I think. So this was a good choice, I think. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. And I do wonder if any of this ink gets into the cap. Will it stain? It's a fairly smooth surface, which to me indicates it probably will not stain. If it was absorbent of any kind, I would be a little bit more concerned. Okay, so let's cross this off here. Ooh, wow, that's really bright. That is some bright ink. But the nib writes beautifully. I have only once had an issue with a TWSBI nib, and that was a 1.1 stub on a Diamond 580, a regular size. It was a little sharp and didn't write very smoothly, and I ended up ordering I ordered a replacement for it, and now it works fantastic. I actually ended up giving that one to my husband because he liked the way it wrote. Okay, so this is the TWSBI Diamond Mini White Rose Gold. Yes, and this particular nib, I would say it's probably a little bit on the fine side, which is fine. No pun intended. Okay, and this is Diamine Fire Embers. It's actually quite a beautiful ink. And it does have a little bit of shading, if you take a look at it at an angle. Okay, so I am not gonna, well, yeah, let's go ahead and do the Quick Brown Fox. Jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this against the other medium 580 mini. And this is also going to have a little bit of variation depending on the ink. This is another Diamine ink that I have in here, I believe. Let's see. So this is Diamond Mini Mint with a medium nib. To my eye, this looks just a tiny bit thicker. And I actually cannot remember which Diamine ink this is. Put that off to the side. Let's see. Down and side to side. It feels a little bit more scratchy side to side than up and down, but scratchy is, it's not a scratchy nib, I should say that. But I have noticed that their coated nibs or nibs that are different colors tend to have a little bit of a different feel than the regular nibs. So this one, which also has this treatment on the nib, is the TWSBI Eco. And again, this looks a little bit more broad, but it could also be the ink. The ink in here is Robert Oster Thunderstorm, white rose gold, and it's a different size nib as well. Robert Oster Thunderstorm. Okay. And let's see, just for kicks, let's go ahead and try out this Smoke Rose Gold Diamond 580, regular size. TWSBI, and you can hear that it's a little more scratchy sounding, but that's because this is an extra fine nib. TWSBI Diamond 580, Smoke Rose Gold. And this has Robert Oster Schwartz Rose. Can't remember if there's a T in there or not. Schwartz Rose Gold. I think it's Rose Gold or Schwartz Rose. I don't know. It's either just Schwartz Rose or I can't remember if it has a gold at the end. It's what happens when you don't have all these things in front of you. So I'll go ahead and show you these a little bit closer up. So I would say that this particular nib is probably about the same, give or take, as this other Diamond Mini medium nib. The Eco is a little bit more broad, but again, that could have to do with the ink. And then this is obviously the extra fine, which is going to be thinner, but I just wanted to go ahead and show those all together. All right, well, that's it for today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I will put a link down below to this pen, but I don't know if it'll be in stock by the time I post this video because I might have to delay a little bit based on other videos that I have in my queue. If this is no longer available, you may be able to find it at on buy-sell trade groups or eBay or something like that. But oftentimes when it's sold out at a lot of different retailers, you can still find it at the TWSBI website. So I would take those steps and see. I purchased mine from Yoseka Stationery as a pre-order, and whenever I can pre-order from them for something like this, first off, it's generally the same price as it is elsewhere, and I really like to support that small stationery company. Okay, so that's it. I will see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.